Hello students, myself is Parminder Singh from Prab Kripa classes. Our today's topic is note making. After going through the course, you will be able to understand the meaning of note making and what is the procedure of note making. You will also understand the note making format and what are those points which we should remember for note making format. We will also understand the meaning of indenting and numbering in note making and what is the meaning of keywords and summary in note making. You will also understand how to write summary. Our memory is limited. We cannot remember all the information all the time. Note making is quite useful to students. At the time of examinations, it is not possible for the students to go through voluminous books. At that time, notes are quite helpful to them. Now the question arises, what is note making? Note making is a way of recording important details from a source. This source can be any paragraph, passage, book, article, meeting, or any other oral discussion. Now we will discuss the procedure of note making. First of all, we should read the passage carefully from beginning to end, and we should try to find out the suitable title for the passage. Next, we should underline the important sentences, which it will help us to make headings and subheadings. Make sure no important point is missed out. We should make a rough note of the main points and give them a logical sequence as mentioned in the original paragraph. Use the appropriate note making format. Further, we should not change the idea or message of the passage. It may sometimes happen that suppose you are in favor of use of internet, but the paragraph given in the examination mentions about the shortcomings of internet. Now, while making note making of that paragraph, you are not to mention the importance of internet. You are not to change the original message of the passage. You are not to introduce your own version. Do not change the idea of the passage. Next, be consistent while numbering. We will understand later on what is numbering and indentation. Use proper indentation to present the notes. Subsections are written a little further from the main heading. Now we will understand what is the note making format. There is a fixed note making format. One needs to follow this note making format in order to have a clear and unambiguous understanding of it. First of all comes the title. The main title should be short. Avoid long sentence as a title unless it happens to be a common saying or a proverb. It should reflect the spirit or main theme of the passage. After title comes heading. As the name suggests, a heading is a subdivision of the main title. Headings are essential components of a paragraph that contain crucial information that must be divided into subheadings and subheadings. Though I am trying to explain the note making format, you may not be properly understanding the same. However, we will understand the same with the help of proper example, and you will really enjoy it. After heading, there is subheading. Below heading, there are some subheadings. Then after subheading, there may be subheading. One can add more subheadings below the subheading for showing the category, types, advantages, disadvantages, etc. In the note making, we also use keywords. The key portion of the note shows the various codes, symbols, or abbreviations. Now, to understand better, let us have a glance at the note making format. This is the format. First of all comes the title of the passage, which is underlined. Then comes the heading. It should also be underlined. Then after that comes subheading. Then comes heading 2. It is also followed by subheading. Then subheading is followed by subheading. This type of subheading or subheading is to be mentioned in the format as per the need of the paragraph. If there is no need of subheading, you may restrict yourself to subheading. At the end of the notes, a box like this is given, has to be given, mentioning key to abbreviations used. We have to write as this key to abbreviations used. All the abbreviations which we have used have to be mentioned here, and the full form of that abbreviation has to be given on the right hand side. Minimum 4 abbreviations should be used in the note making. After that comes the summary. When we have gone through all the paragraph, we have to mention the summary on the basis of develop the summary on the basis of the heading and subheadings which we have made in this note making format. Now we will read this. Students are also required to write a summary of the passage in 80 to 100 words. Summary should be written on the basis of your notes. The summary should contain the main gist of the passage only. We should try that we should write so much on the one page of our answer sheet, and we can mention this summary on the next page of our answer sheet. Now we come to the points which we should remember for note making format. First, avoid using long sentences as heading or title. Next, ignore information that is less important. Only important points should be noted. Never lose the main idea of the passage. Next, we should be brief, clear, and specific. Do not include your own version or understandings. As already told, that it may happen that the passage given in the exam may not be as per your understanding of the subject. You may like the advantages of information technology, but in the passage it may happen that there may be the shortcomings mentioned in the passage. You are not to mention the importance of information technology in your note making. You are to only make the notes of the passage as mentioned in the given paragraph. We are not to include our own version. We are to go by the theme or the writing of the author of the passage. Next, we should use at least 4 abbreviations in our notes. While making note making, we should at least mention 4 abbreviations. It may be more than that. Use universally recognized abbreviations, symbols, shorter words, and numbers wherever necessary, and provide key to the abbreviations. As already mentioned, that when you have mentioned heading, subheading, subheading, and after all that, you have to make a box mentioning the key to every keywords used in the examination note making, at least 4. Further, headings and subheadings are to be numbered. Now the point comes, indenting. What is the meaning of indenting? Indenting means shifting from the margin. If you see this, this is from the margin. First has been written here. This is the main heading. Now subheading has been written just leaving after more distance. If you talk about this, this is heading, this is subheading, this is written after some more distance, and this is subheading. This has been written after a leaving more distance as compared to 2a. It follows the pattern of this like version. Indenting means shifting from the margin, used to clearly indicate headings, subheadings, and subheadings. First, write the title. Then write down the notes in a logical order in this way. From the headings to subheadings, the numbering should be spaced a little to the right. You can see the numbering is written a little to the right. If we are writing 2a and 2b is in the same line. If we are writing 2a1, then 2a2, then it is in the same line as 2a1. Such use of indenting gives your notes a visual character. It gives a clear picture of the notes which you are making. At a glance, you can see the main idea and its various aspects. Suppose this may be the on any topic. You may say that you have been given a paragraph on computerization. First of all, if you go through the passage, you may find out that we have to define what is the message of computerization. What is the meaning of computerization? You will first of all here first heading will be definition. Suppose after that in the next there has been given that what are the advantages of computers. Then the second heading will be advantages. You will write the same A1, A, B, C, and then the third heading may be disadvantages, and you will mention the same in the same manner A, B, C. So in this way, you will also use abbreviations and will make a key or box of the same mentioning the abbreviations, and after all this you will mention the summary. Next, numbering. You may follow any system, but you should be consistent. What it means? It means that if we are following, suppose this system 1A, B, 1, after that 2, it does not mean that if you are writing second heading, then you can use 2, 1, 2.1, 2.2. You cannot do that. You have to use the same format. You will mention 2, then you will write A, then you will write B. Whatever system numbering system you use, you will have to follow the same. Suppose you use 1, then you use 1.1, then you use 1.2. Then if you come to the second heading, you cannot say that after writing 2, you start writing A, B. You will have to follow that system. No, this is not correct. You will have to follow this pattern. In here, these are some numbering formats which you may follow, such like 1A, 1B. Then after that, you will have to follow 2A, 2B. If you are using this type of numbering, 1, 1.1, 1.2, then when you come next time a heading 2, then you will mention 2, 2.1, 2.2. If you are using this type of format A as heading, then you will use A1, A2. Then you will use heading B, then you will use B1, B2. That is, you will have to follow the same system throughout. You cannot change in between. It will not look nice, and it will also may result in negative marking, or you may not fetch any marks in the examination, and the examiner may think that you do not know the note making format. So always follow the consistent, always be consistent while using the numbering. Next, writing a summary. What is the meaning of summary? Summary means general idea in brief form. What the whole passage was, you have to write a brief summary of the same. It is an abstract of the passage. It is a gist of the passage. You have to expand headings and subheadings and write down the ideas developed in the passage in the specified word limit. It is not that you can write summary as long as you want. Normally it is 1/3, or it is written in between 80 to 100 words. Please note that when we were writing heading, subheading, or sub-subheading, we have to use abbreviations or symbols. But when we are writing summary, we do not use abbreviations and symbols here. Complete sentences are used here in summary. Now the question arises, how to write summary. First of all, we should keep in mind the word limit of summary. Usually a summary is 1/3 of the length of the original passage. Ideally, a summary must provide the information in the same order as in the original passage. We may understand the same with the help of an example. Suppose we have been given a topic on air pollution. First of all, there may be given what is the meaning of air pollution. Then may be given advantages of air pollution. Then the other, in the same paragraph, next lines may write about the disadvantages of air pollution. While writing summary, we should follow the same pattern: definition, then advantages, and then disadvantages. We are not to write that first we will write the definition, then we write one advantage, then one disadvantage, again we one advantage and one disadvantage. No, we should follow the pattern as mentioned in the original passage. We are to follow the same logical serial term. Students are required to write summary using the main points listed in the notes. While note making format, in the previous pages we have noted that first comes the title, then heading, then subheading. We are to make the summary on the basis of that points which we have listed in the notes in heading and subheading, and not any other point. We are to use only those heading and subheadings and subheadings while making summary. We should avoid sentences using words like and, not only, but also, such that, and which. Avoid lifting complete sentences from the original text. It is not that whatever written in the original passage, we have to copy paste the same in the summary. This is wrong. We should understand the meaning of the passage and we should write the same in our own words in the summary as far as possible. Your summary should read as a systematic paragraph. As already told, we have to follow a systematic. It should not look that you are taking the points which were mentioned on the last of the paragraph. You are writing that early in the first lines, and whatever was written in the early, you are writing the same in the summary at the last. We should follow a systematic format. Summary should be complete in the sense that it carries all the points touched by the author in the original passage. It is a very important next point. Be neutral. Do not include your own opinions on any topic. We are to follow whatever has been written in the original passage. We are to go by the same. It may happen that the original passage may not be correct, or it may present only half truth, but we are to go by the same. Do not misrepresent the author's ideas. Now we come to the abbreviations and symbols which we have to use in the note making. Abbreviation is a short way of writing a word or a phrase that could also be written out in full. They are used for precision and economy of words and helps quite useful in note making. At least 4 recognizable abbreviations are to be used in note making in your examination. Further, it is necessary to prepare a key to abbreviations and enclose it within a box. We have already told you that when you have mentioned title, heading, subheadings, then and after using abbreviations, you have to enclose all the abbreviations in a box. Some examples of abbreviations and symbols are as under. Capital the first letter of the words. For example, in case of Prime Minister, P and M has been taken as abbreviation. In case of Chief Minister, C and M has been taken first 2 words. In the same way, United Nations Organization, only U and O has been taken. United States of America, USA has been taken. United Kingdom, U and K has been taken. World Health Organization, WH and O has been taken as abbreviation. In the same way, Annual General Meeting, A, G and M. This is the word which is being heard today in most of the news channels, and the word is NATO, which means North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Next comes VP, which stands for Vice President. CMO stands for Chief Marketing Officer. Abbreviation for Chief Financial Officer is CFO. In case of Managing Director, MD is the short form or abbreviation. Chief Executive Officer, CEO. Personal Assistant, PA. Central Board of Secondary Education, CBSE. This word is used in India. Superintendent of Police, SP. Station House Officer, SHO. PIN, Personal Identification Number. This is the abbreviation PIN. This is also a next abbreviation which belongs to India, and the abbreviation is NCERT, National Council of Education, Research and Training. BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation, FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, LAN, Local Area Network. In all these cases, you will see that only the capital first letter of the words has been taken as abbreviation. We will also, on the next slide, will see other forms of abbreviations. In this few examples, first few letters of the words have been taken as abbreviation. In case of science, only S and C has been taken as abbreviation, followed by full stop. In case of laboratory, lab, followed by stop. Library, LIB dot. In case of captain, CAPT, after that dot has been given. Company, CO, after that dot. Signature, SIG dot. University, UNI dot. Society, SOC dot. Information, info dot. In case of September, SEPT dot. January, JAN dot. And in case of abbreviation, ABBR dot. Here there are certain other abbreviations. In case of cannot, we can write the same as can't. In case of care of, C/O. Will not can be written as won't. Account can be written as A/C. Not applicable can be written in abbreviation as N/A. This is the short form of Messrs. That is can be written as in this way, I.E. Namely can be written as Viz. You are to remember not only these abbreviations, but more and more abbreviations should be learnt so that you can use the same while you are appearing for exam and attempting in question on note making. Other universally recognized symbols which you can use in the note making are, for example, you can use E.G. For percent, you can this type of symbol, you can use this symbol for and. Positive can be written as this way. In case of negative, you can write in this way. You can use these type of symbols in case of leading to rising and filing. Then there are certain mathematical symbols which you can use in note making for equal to, greater than, shorter than, or at the rate of. These symbols or universally recognized symbols you can use in note making. You can also use some measurements and figures. For example, if in case in the original passage 100 inches have been written, you can use the same as this way in your note making. 100 feet can be written as this way. 9 feet 5 inches can be written in this way. 100 millimeter. This is the abbreviations or short forms which we can use in note making format. 100 kilogram can be written in this way. Then there are certain abbreviations that end with the last letter of the word. In case of limited, you can see that this abbreviation ends with D. This is the word which has been written at the last. They do not, such type of abbreviations do not require any full stop at the end. You can see that in case of limited, LTD, no dot is given. In case of doctor, no full stop is given. In case of saint, no dot is given. In case of 10th, TH has been used, so no dot has been given. In case of government, T has been used as the last word, so no full stop has been given at the end. Sometimes a confusion arises in case of abbreviations of Mr., Mrs., Miss or Doctor or Saint, whether we are to use full stop at the end or not. Here is the answer. British usage favors omitting full stop in abbreviations which include the first and last letters of a single word. For example, such as Mr., Mrs., Miss, Dr. and Saint. That is, when we are using British English and we are making abbreviations of these 5 words, we do not add full stop at the end. But when we are using American English and we are making abbreviations of the words Mr., Mrs., Miss, Dr. and Saint, we use full stop at the end. You can see here. Then there is another method of making abbreviations. In this case, we remove the vowels. What are vowels? A, E, I, O and U. These are 5 vowels. Suppose we have before us the word reading in case of the original passage. In case of reading, E is also a vowel, E is also a vowel, I is also a vowel. We will remove these 3 words, E, A and I. We will write R, D and G. This is the abbreviation. In case of books, double O is the vowel. We will remove the same and we will write BKS. In case of cleaning, E, A and I are the vowels. We will remove the same and will mention C, L and G. In case of shopping, we will remove O and mention it as given in the photograph. And there may be more examples, so on. If you go through the abbreviations, you will find out that you can use these in the examination. You are to also remember much more about the abbreviations from other sources also. The list is very exhaustive. Here is a caution. Do not get over enthusiastic about abbreviations. It should not be that we should start making abbreviations of each and every word. For example, if we are to write note making, we write it as note. If we are to write making, we write make. We should not try to make abbreviation of each and every word. We should make abbreviations of only those words, those abbreviations which are universally recognized or which follow a particular pattern, which follow a particular mathematical system, or there may be particularly recognized symbols, or they may involve removing the vowels or any other method which we have used in the earlier slides. So you should not abbreviate each and every word. As a general rule, heading should not be abbreviated. Here is a list of certain other courses which we have already uploaded on various platforms such as YouTube, our own website, Affiliate, Udemy, Tutorials Point and other sites. You can find out the same. Examples are past tense, present tense, future tense, letter writing, computer virus, internet, most common mistakes and many other more topics. You can find out the same on our website also, prabkirpaclasses.com. Next, marking scheme. What is the marking scheme of note making? For class 11, it may be of 8 marks. For class 12, it may be of 10 marks. Note making carries 5 marks. That is when we mention heading, title, heading, subheading and keywords. All these are of 5 marks, in which title is of 1 mark, numbering and indenting carries 1 mark, key and glossary carries 1 mark, notes carry 2 marks. Summary is of 3 marks in case of class 11 and in case of class 12 it may be of 5 marks. Expression means correct grammar and spellings. Conclusion. Note making is a useful skill. It is a means to capture the main ideas of a given passage in a logically structured format. One can have a glance at a lot of information from a short note. You must develop it with constant practice. So far, we have understood what is note making, what is its format, how we make headings, subheadings, sub-subheadings, how we use abbreviations, and what is the meaning of summary in note making. We will try to understand the same with the help of an example. So let us read. Make notes on the passage using recognizable abbreviations in a suitable format. Give a title to the passage. Make a summary of the passage. First of all, as already told, we will have to read the whole of the passage. It may spread over 3 or more paragraphs. Let us read. Deforestation is the removal of a forest or stand of trees from land and using that land for other purposes. The cause of deforestation are multiple. Some of them are man-made and others are natural. Agriculture is the main reason of deforestation globally. Growing global population and increased food consumption has led to many forests being converted into farms. Other reasons are procuring land for mining, building houses, factories, making furniture, paper, or using wood as fuel. Natural causes of deforestation include forest fires and severe droughts. The loss of trees causes harm not only to the environment itself, but it also affects animals, including humans. About 70% of land animals and plant species live in forests and get their food and shelter from there. So, deforestation may lead to the death or extinction of certain species of animals and plants due to very high temperature, shortage of food, and no shelter. As the natural habitat dwindles, animals are forced to search for food and shelter outside their traditional forest range and move into areas populated by humans, resulting into human wildlife conflict. According to World Economic Forum, 31% of emerging diseases are linked to deforestation. Deforestation is also adversely affecting indigenous communities who depend on resources provided by rainforests. Cutting of trees also results into droughts, floods, and increase in temperature of the earth. We can conserve forests by controlling forest fires. More trees should be planted to increase the forest cover. We can protect forests from pests and disease by spraying chemicals and antibiotics. After going through the whole of the passage, we come to the conclusion that the whole of the passage is about deforestation or cutting of trees. So our main title of the passage is deforestation. So our first heading title will be deforestation. After that we will make headings. Now in the next line we will see that causes of deforestation are multiple. Some of them are man-made and others are natural. That is, we have been given two types of causes of deforestation, that is man-made and natural. So the first heading will be man-made causes, other will be natural causes of deforestation. Man-made causes include agriculture. Other reasons are mining, building houses, furniture. In the natural causes will be the heading and the subheadings will be forest fires and severe droughts. Next, loss of trees, that is deforestation, causes harm to not only to the environment, that is what are its consequences or adverse effects. What are the consequences of deforestation? It is affecting not only animals but also human beings. there is shortage of food and shelter, and no shelter for this will be the consequence of shortage of food and shelter. That is, there will be no habitat for animals and plants, loss of habitat and food for animals and plants. Further, if the forests are removed, it may result into human wildlife conflict. As you may see that in some villages, when the forests are cut in the nearby areas, some of the wild animals may come to the villages or may come to the cities, and they may attack the human beings. Then deforestation also causes emerging diseases. It is also adversely affecting indigenous communities, adverse effect on indigenous communities. Then cutting of trees is also resulting into droughts, floods, and increase in temperature. Here we have given the heading meaning. These are the causes, these are the consequences of deforestation. Now comes, we can conserve forest, conservation of forest. This is the steps we can take to conserve forest. What will be that? Controlling forest fires, planting more trees, or use protecting forests from pests and diseases. So you can see what is the result. This is the note making format we have designed or prepared from the previous passage. As already told, first comes the title. We write the meaning. Meaning is given as cutting of trees. These are the causes. We have first mentioned man-made. This is the heading. This is subheading. This is sub-subheading. These are sub-subheadings. Here we have used abbreviation for agriculture, AGR dot. Here we have used building houses. For building we have used BLDG. This is also an abbreviation. Natural causes are forest fires, severe droughts. These are the consequences of deforestation, loss of habitat of animals and plants, human wildlife conflict, emerging diseases, droughts. For floods we have used again abbreviation. This is the full word. Floods we have removed these O. As already told, we can remove vowels, so we have used the abbreviation FLDS. For temperature we have used abbreviation TEMP dot. Now again we have given fourth heading, steps to conserve forests, controlling forest fires, plant more trees, and protecting forests from pests and diseases. Here you can see this is the abbreviation. This is also an abbreviation, building. This is the floods. This is the temperature. These are the four abbreviations we have used. And this is the word, and here it has also been used for and. For all these words we have made a box and we have mentioned the keywords used in this note making. AGR stands for agriculture, BLDG stands for building, this is the symbol which stands for and, FLDS stands for floods, TEMP dot stands for temperature. And that already told. Then we will also have to write summary only on the basis of all these headings and subheadings or subheadings which we have mentioned in the note making. So let us find the summary. What is summary means? Summary we have written as deforestation means cutting of trees. Man-made causes of deforestation include agriculture, mining, building houses, and making furniture. Natural causes of deforestation are forest fires, severe droughts. Deforestation is resulting into loss of habitat and food to animals and plants. Human wildlife conflict, droughts, floods, emerging diseases, increase in temperature, and adverse effect on indigenous communities. We can conserve forests by controlling forest fires, planting more trees, and protecting forests from pests and diseases. We hope we have been able to make you understand what is the proper format of note making and what format we should use for note making, how to use abbreviations, headings, subheadings, sub-subheadings, and how to write summary. If you like our video, please like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.